Okay, hello. My name is Kaylee Mott. This is my presentation for week 6 for CRJ 306, Race, Ethnicity, and Crime. And the topic that I'm going to be covering is the case of Furman v. Georgia. So some background information for you guys. William Furman was a African-American male who was burglarizing a residential home when the homeowner caught him in the act. While William Furman attempted to flee from the home, he dropped the weapon that he was carrying, a gun, and the gun misfired when it impacted on the floor, and evidently it killed the homeowner. So Furman was tried with murder in Georgia, and according to the Georgia law, since the murder occurred during a burglary, Furman could potentially face a sentence of execution if he was found guilty for murder. Overall, at the end, he was convicted of murder and sentenced to death for his crime. The actual case of Furman v. Georgia was when William Furman appealed the execution sentence, feeling that his sentence was unjust and a violation of his 8th and 14th Amendment rights. So the reason that William Furman felt as though this sentence was a violation of his 8th Amendment rights is because the sentence could be seen as excessive and or cruel and unusual punishment, not equivalent to the crime committed. And in the 8th Amendment, it is clearly stated that no person will be sentenced to excessive bail, fines, punishment, cruel and unusual punishment, etc. He felt as though his 14th Amendment rights were violated due to the apparent racial discrimination that was present in the sentence, as well as the fact that the sentence it stopped him from being allowed to pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, which is stated very clearly in the 14th Amendment. So he appealed to the courts, to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court decided to overturn Furman's sentence of execution. And the court further explained that until a uniform policy is mandated determining which offenses and offenders are eligible for capital punishment, the death penalty would most likely continue to be considered cruel and unusual punishment. And in this case, this was a just overturning because the act of the murder was not malicious in sense, and the murder was not intended. So the sentencing of a person who accidentally committed murder, the sentence of capital punishment or death is not equivalent. So, yeah, thanks for listening.